little fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. This piece is entitled Women in Boardrooms Mandated. It's from Fox & Friends, August 30, 2018. Links on my site, but you can Google this and find many references to it. A California law would require women on boards of public companies. Listen to this piece and their arguments, but please pay particular attention to the last bit, and if you miss it, it's been repeated. This is how far America has gone towards full-blown socialism, and thereby early communism, as Canada has. Don't ever be fooled what their end goal really is. Here's the piece.
California could soon become the first state to require women on a company's board of directors. The controversial bill states this: more women directors serving on boards of directors of publicly held corporations will boost the California economy, improve opportunities for women in the workplace, and protect California taxpayers, shareholders, and retirees. But is this type of mandate a good idea? Here to debate this is the CEO of Walser Wealth Management, Rebecca Walser, and Democratic strategist and political analyst, Rochelle Ritchie. Thank you both for being with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so I'll start with you, Rochelle, because I know you're for this. Why do you think this is a good idea, to mandate that a woman has to serve on each board?
Well, look, I think that this is a threat to the status quo, and it's a step in the right direction. I mean, you have to consider the fact that California has the 5th largest economy in the world, and yet 25% of their companies do not have women serving on their boards. That's a huge problem. And unfortunately, in the United States, which has a history of discrimination, as we know, you have to legislate equality.
All right, Rebecca, you were against it. Why?
Yeah, you know, Ansley, what I'm not going to do is say that women shouldn't be on boards. We should be on boards. Of course we should be on boards. But what I will tell you is this is a very slippery slope. It takes me back to my law school days when we were, start with something innocuous and say, well, of course women should be on boards. Of course we should have, equitable distribution of gender representation. However, the government with this bill crosses the threshold of being outside the boardroom and dictating the makeup of the actual board members inside the boardroom. Somewhere from between 40 and 50% would be dictated by the government. So, no, this is a huge thing. And, of course, I agree that women should be on the boardroom, but they should be there by merit and not by government dictation.
Yeah, Rochelle, she brings up a really good point, because what if someone really deserves it, but they don't get that spot because they're not a female?
Well, look, as I said before, you have to legislate equality in this country. It is legislation that gave women the right to vote. It is legislation that gave women the right to join the military. And it is legislation that allowed us to keep our jobs if we were to get pregnant. But besides being an issue of equality, research has shown, dozens of researchers have shown, that when women are on the board of directors, companies make more money. There was one study that showed that the companies with women on their boards actually made 26% more in profit than male-dominated boardrooms. So this no girls allowed mentality is actually costing corporations money.
You're shaking your head no, Rebecca. Why?
No, because shareholders already are absolutely accountable to. The board is already accountable to shareholders. Businesses exist. They have to make a product better, a service better than the next guy, or they won't be in business. So people are already very accountable to their shareholders. If shareholders don't like it, like if people don't like that there's no women on Skechers board, don't buy Skechers. Make a protest. Go on social media. We are accountable, and the government does not legislate everything in this country. That is what makes us great. That is what makes us a capitalistic nature.
You have to legislate equality.
We don't have to legislate equality. That's absolutely not true.
Okay.
There's plenty of ways to
you don't have to legislate equality in this country.
Not in a boardroom, not in a publicly traded boardroom that is answered to shareholders. We're not answering to the government with our companies. We are answering to our shareholders. There's a difference between capitalism and socialism, and this is a much bigger issue. We can all agree that women should be in the boardroom. This is not the way to do it. What's next? Okay. We have to have ethnicity. We have to have gender equality. We have to have sexual orientation. Exactly. So we can't go down the road of the government running our corporations. This is socialism. Guys, it's something that we should all agree with.
Rebecca, Rochelle, thank you so much for being with us. Great to see you both ladies.
This is not the way to do it. What's next? We have to have ethnicity. We have to have gender equality. We have to have sexual orientation. Exactly. So we can't go down the road of the government running our corporations. This is socialism. Guys, it's something that we should all agree with.
You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab, and email. You can now find us on Spotify. Just go to the podcast section and type Canadian Politics with a Twist, and you'll find us. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio, and please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.